Hello, and welcome to the ninth episode of the third season of Your Mom's Podcast, the only podcast that's worth walking out on a date with one of Degrassi's coolest girls. I'm Avis,
And I'm Caroline.
and today we're talking about Degrassi Season 3, Episodes 11 and 12, Holiday Parts 1 and 2. 'Twas a week or so before Christmas, and up in Toronto, arrogant Craig thought he had things under control. Things were serious with Ashley, for whom he claimed to care, but he was sleeping with Manny, who wore thong underwear. Under the same roof, Joey had similar troubles. A good thing with Sydney, but watch as he fumbles. Along came Joey's hot mess ex, Caitlin. She's Joey's first love. Sydney couldn't win. She ruined a costume, and Sydney was pissed, which somehow led her and Joey to kiss. Manny had enough of playing side chick. Craig went to dump Ash, but the guitar's a great gift. Vintage tee, pink sweater, a bracelet with charms. Could Craig manage to keep both girls in his arms? How could he choose between the rocker and the girl who skates on ice? Here's an idea. He'd ask Caitlin for advice. Through accidental snooping, Ash connects the dots and confronted the complicit Manuela with her thoughts. At the variety show, she gave Craig a slap. Manny was close behind to say she's done with his crap. Desperate to help, Joey said, "What the hell?" He told Craig of the time he fucked Tessa Campanelli. They rushed to the airport in hopes they'd catch Caitlin before she'd gone on her lush spa vacation. A Christmas miracle! They made it in time. Caitlin had 3 minutes till the plane would leave her behind. Joey confessed his love, and he had her convinced. They engaged in a very public Christmas kiss. Several hearts were left broken. Is this first love built to last? Happy holiday from Degrassi and Your Mom's Podcast.
All right, that was a doozy. Do you think anybody's still listening?
I hope so. That was a stimulating reading that I just
It's
gave.
not
I
that
tried
you
to
did a bad reading. I'm just like,
pepper.
Jesus Christ.
It was a lot, but no, I think this episode is so like one big plot.
Yeah, you'll notice in
It's
the show
funny.
notes I didn't do, or like the script notes.
Yeah, you
I did
didn't.
Craig plot, Joey
Yes.
plot.
Yes. And I think it's funny because just last episode, right, we were talking about how we think that it would be nice to have a plot where nothing else is going on, or like pay due time to a really heavy, sensitive subject. But instead of that, instead of giving a two-parter to Terry and her very complex,
Right. Let's spend
let's
an
just
episode
spend
with
a
Joey and
whole
Caitlin.
basically an hour with Joey and
I
Caitlin
feel like we
and
spend more time
Craig
with
and
Joey
Ashley
and
and
Caitlin and Sydney
Manny.
than we do with Craig and Manny and Ashley.
Craig and Manny and Ashley, we do. They are the A plot. Yeah.
It's fine.
If we had to say, because like they're just the leading, like that's just more of what's going. We have more ends to tie up there. Like we know that Craig's gonna fumble the ball, and that either Manny's gonna blow up the shit, or he's just gonna fumble the ball and Ashley's gonna figure, like that's the outcome. We know there it can only really go with his plot. It is the more minor plot, even though it's been building up all season. Well, more than all season. But for Joey's plot, like he's got the thing going on with Caitlin, he's got the thing going on with Sydney. There's a little bit more complexity there versus like because we have to flesh out the situations a little bit more because we don't know what's going on as much in Joey's life versus Craig's life. Like we've gone through several episodes of this bullshit between
I noticed
Craig and Manny
too,
and
like,
Ashley.
how hard they're trying to paint Sydney as sucking. Like it's interesting, right? Because like
As a wench.
like because she's not nothing. Like she and Joey aren't a good fit, but like
No, but I think she actually fits into the family rather well, and I think that she's not like super overbearing. I think she has her moments, but I think that she's being herself, which is like sometimes really hard to do in a
right.
situation like that. Like you might be inclined to like maybe do the thing that is like expected or something else versus like just genuinely being yourself. But I can fully say that confidently that Sydney's being herself. She is not editing herself at all. She's putting all her insecurities out there. She is trying to hold the family together, and she is really helping, in my perspective. Like, I don't think that there were many points in the episode where I disagreed with where Sydney was coming from.
Yeah, okay, no. See, here's the thing: is it's not that like it's not anything Sydney's doing that makes it not a good fit.
Yeah, no, it's nothing that she's
It's
doing.
just it's not a good fit, and like it's a shame.
Yeah.
But Joey's not like he made me so mad when they're talking about Angie's pageant, and it's been
Hmm.
established presumably before this scene that Sydney can't go,
Before
and he
this
is like,
scene,
oh, but
yes.
Sydney's gonna miss you so much, and like,
And she's like, and we already established that I'm taking her shopping for Boxing Day, which I always forget that is a thing in Canada, which is cute. But that the concept of Boxing Day is in general is, if you don't know, which I barely know, I did not research this, is just apparently after the day after Christmas, they like put up all of their decorations, and I guess there's a bunch of sales to go do to get decorating for the next seasons ahead. I don't know, but they already established she was taking her Boxing Day shopping to make up for it. So it's like, why are you bringing it up
right,
again to kind of make her feel bad?
right.
And he's just a guy who, and like my question, one of my notes was like, how is Joey funding ballet and ice skating, two very expensive elite like
I
activities for his
wonder
child?
if
If she's still doing ballet, she was still doing ballet as of like, I don't know when I think at the end of last season when Craig's dad died, she was
so.
still
Here
doing
are my
ballet.
thoughts on that. Is one
Hmm.
little kid ballet, I think, is a lot less expensive and
Then
a lot
adult,
more
well,
prevalent.
teen girl ballet. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like
There's
I took
yes.
ballet as a kid because it was offered at my daycare. Like my parents paid an extra,
Oh,
like,
okay.
I don't know, it was the 90s, so probably like $30 a month for me to get two ballet lessons a month or whatever. Um,
Yeah,
and then ice skating, you got to remember it's Canada.
it is Canada,
Like the
isn't it?
rink where Spinner sees them hooking up
Oh my
has
gosh.
at least
Yeah.
two rinks because
Yeah.
Craig is there for the pageant and he is there because Kendra's a synchro
Is a
skater.
synchro
We missed
skater.
out, so we were robbed of an amazing character in
I would
Kendra.
love to see, like, literally, she is an awesome person. And the fact that he's calling her my sister this whole episode grinds my fucking gears because, like, Spin,
We know
we know who
Kendra,
Kendra, we know who she is. So does Craig.
right?
So do we. You don't need to say my
You can
sister.
just say Kendra.
And that is in my opinion, guys, because I know that she pops up in this episode towards the end during the fateful Christmas concert or whatever the fuck it is.
To
I don't
do
want to
her
call it another
Chinese
pageant
dragon
because
dance of the
her
Chinese fire
Chinese New Year
dragon or
Chinese
whatever.
dragon dance. Yeah, but like I truly don't think we see her much after
She makes it. She
because
doesn't
they
get black hole till the end of this season, and I think her last episode is actually the finale. But
yeah,
Kendra's on her way
but
out,
like
and it's a shame.
she's on her way out, and like and just in the way he's saying my sister, like there's already like the framework there in my opinion to have her be less of Kendra, to have her not be a character anymore.
Right.
And it's like we're not going to bring her in for even, we're going to just talk about it, we're not going to write any, we're not going to actually put any effort into giving this actress a scene. We're just gonna, no, we're not gonna, because like it's way more believable to me that Kendra is a synchro skater than that Manny is a good enough skater to have a group of small children
That
that
she's
she
teaching.
leads,
Yeah.
that she's teaching.
I don't know. I
We've
could
never
believe
seen
that
this
she's
young lady
like
skate
an
before.
instructor's assistant and whatever for the
I would
like.
believe that she's an instructor's assistant, but like it doesn't make sense that she's, but we don't have that, we don't have that. The only thing we have is her staying in my class. So we've got to assume that it's her class. So like what qualifications do you have to have? And we've literally seen Manny with skates this episode, this two-parter. That's it.
Well, because it's never
She's
been
laying
important before to know that she's a skater.
it's never it's
Which
never been
also, have you
important,
ever
but
known a
and I
figure
don't think we ever
skater?
seen her
Have you
bedroom
ever like
before.
known a figure skater in real life? Because it's a real
No.
important part of their personality, and we would have heard about it.
Yes. Well, that and dancers and anybody who does anything, I really feel like they tell you about it.
Well, and I mean, I guess it's like, okay, so Maya's a cheerleader. She's a gymnast. She's
Yeah, we'll find
Canadian.
out
It's
she's a
not that. I mean, we already knew she was a gymnast in, since
oh,
Wannabe.
oh, right, because
Like, it's
she
not
cartwheels
explicitly
and stuff. She
said.
does,
Okay,
right, but she has tumbling
not
experience.
related
So
to
we're,
this
yes.
episode at all, but I was thinking about it the other
Mhm.
day when I was listening to an episode, and you mentioned Spinner's ADD and how that's just not talked about anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think it got black hole. I don't think it went away. Like, Spinner still behaves like a person with ADHD. Like,
Yeah, I think there's just less emphasis and need for like the plot to mention it.
yeah. Sorry to
Which I mean, I
detour
would love
there.
because no, I mean there that needs as someone who's diagnosed with that ADHD as a kid, like I just feel like it's good to have that representation, not be like black holed. But
Mm-hmm.
no, like I actually don't think did we I don't think we've seen Manny's bedroom before now.
They've been.
So we see Manny's bedroom for the first time
We
and all we
know.
really see
We see Manny's bedroom in Wannabe because Paige and Hazel come over to her house.
oh we do see it in Wannabe. It looks kind of like Emma's though. That's why I'm like, oh, is it? She can't have them over to Emma's house. But it looks like Emma's room just flipped, just like on the other side of the room. That's probably what it was. But okay, so this is the second time we've seen her room. I'm gonna go back and Wannabe and see if there's skates hanging up pointedly like that because I have a problem with that where they just now making her entire personality for one episode in order to emphasize enough that Craig would get her and like that response to a bracelet with
With,
an ice skate
yeah, a
on it.
charm bracelet that's got the same charm 4 times, and that charm is an ice skate. And like, it's a cute enough bracelet, but like,
It's cute.
him knowing that you
It's probably
figure
gonna turn her
skate
wrist
is
green.
not. If he spent $100 on a t-shirt for Ashley and then got Manny a bracelet that'll turn her wrist green,
He ain't shit.
we
I don't
already knew
know, but
he
she
ain't
dropped it.
shit.
We already knew, but she dropped the bracelet at the end, so we have no idea. She dropped the ocean. She might as well have dropped it in the ocean at the end because we'll never know if that thing is gonna turn her wrist green. But I would like to wager a bet. She better not shower in it. She better not get it anywhere near water or perspiration. It'll probably not be good. But
You can paint it with clear nail polish, that helps.
oh, Caroline Hacks, I did not know that. I had no idea. I want to bring up that a tree trimming party is so fucking adorable,
It
and
is.
I miss shit like that. Um, and also I think what my note here was Sydney being so anal about the Christmas tree's fullness is relatable, and it's also why I don't get real trees anymore. Fake trees for the win. Um, I said when the baby is born, both of our babies, we're gonna get them like little tiny trees, little like tiny real trees. But like I'm sticking with my good old reliable fake ass tree that I can fluff out and like not water. So that's but like I loved her standing in the front of the Christmas tree and like with her little mug of eggnog having them twist the tree around. It was
Yeah.
I love Sydney so
Yeah,
much. I'm so
Sydney deserved
sad.
better.
She deserved better. She's such
You
and
know
like I
what,
think that
though?
getting older is realizing that she's not the bitch that the show wanted us to think that she was.
I like to believe that Sydney gets better because Sydney deserves better than what Joey Jeremiah can give her. And now
Right.
she's free of this.
And she's so
So
and she's so
hopefully,
earnest. The way she doesn't leave in anger or anything. She puts all her cards on the table and it's so devastating to see her face. Her actress is really awesome.
really awesome.
Um
Well, spoiler alert, In a bit, there's going to be a really important plot about Joey needing to sell his house. And Sydney's going to come in, no hard feelings, and help him do it because she cares about him and she cares about Angie and Craig and she
Mm-hmm.
wants them to be okay. So, like, no,
Yep.
Sydney is great, except
She
for
needs to
shots
know.
fired at both of them for that. When Spike did her little toast and then they like linked arms to drink their fucking eggnog. It
Yeah.
was gross and
Oh.
cheesy and I hated it.
It's like it's kind of giving it's the same energy as when at weddings couples like smash the cake, they feed each other the cake and like my parents didn't do that. They just like fed like I actually don't like when people smash the cake in their face, but like they my parents did the thing where they fed each other a very small slice of cake
Mm-hmm.
with their like, hand with their hands and I thought it was so intimate. I had to look away and I was literally 10 years old.
That like when it makes you feel weird but you don't quite understand why.
Right, like, it just was I was like, "I shouldn't be watching this, but I'm watching this, but they're doing it knowing everyone's watching, so I must be able to watch it, like, but I don't want to." Oh, moments like that are so weird for me because they happen in, like, random moments in life, when you're out somewhere and you see people having a moment and you accidentally kind of, like, catch it
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, "Damn, I'm gonna look away because like I've intruded upon y'all little moment here." So that's kind of like it was a similar like intimate, cheesy, but like and not like I want to look away, but like you guys are cringe. This is why people don't have tree trimming parties anymore.
Right.
But can we talk about the fact that like and I'm just gonna say this off the top in case that anybody like one is gonna get like confuse my opinion on the subject of Manny in this episode and this arc overall. Manny fucked around and she found out. That's literally what happened. She does not like was she wronged? Yes, she was lied to a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But which did she actively pursue this young man knowing that he was in a relationship and he never reciprocated any sort of like of that like oh I miss you let's meet up energy until and I would argue even when he started being like okay meet me in the garage and stuff it wasn't like I miss you it was like I want to smash the fact that he realized okay I can do this without getting caught and it might not be like wrong he's gung-ho.
Yeah, no. And then like when he's like, it's you, it's always been you. Like,
It's so fucking bad and sad and I'm so sad for Ashley. I'm really sad for Ashley in this instance.
is this
I
gonna
always
turn
was
out
sad for
not to be an
Ashley.
Ashley Kerwin slander pad?
Oh no, it's gonna get there. Trust me. She has her damn day. She has multiple days, and she's gonna have them. She still has them. But this Melissa does such a good job. I need to find Sydney's actress because I'm caught. I know everybody else is in the main cast's damn name, but Melissa, her acting in this scene is so devastating when she's just like, I thought that we like, like I thought that we were real,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really sad that she is like finding this and like she's better than me because the fact that she just smacked him, I would have fucked him up with that guitar.
Well, no, that's a
Like,
beautiful
not to
guitar.
talk
You don't
about
need to trash the
not to
guitar
talk about domestic violence, but like, everybody always talks about the part
with
in
Jenna.
later seasons with Jenna smacking KC with the fucking guitar and like domestic violence is obviously not fucking funny. However, when someone cheats on you and breaches your trust like that, I actually think you're probably justified to your one fucking like hit. And she took her one hit.
Yeah, it's
I would have gotten a guitar
ideally
and smacked him upside
ideally
the head
you
and walked
don't,
off
but I don't
stage.
think that like that one hit in an extreme situation makes you an abuser. I think anybody and everybody is capable of like hitting their breaking point.
Yeah. Ugh. I've
Um,
never been like implicitly cheated on by anyone that I like truly loved,
yeah, I don't
so
want to talk
and
about it.
I say implicitly, right, that's a whole nother conversation. But like it's so traumatic to even like talk about it. Like I know people personally who have been cheated on, and it's something that they talk about with such like a PTSD sort of
Oh yeah,
like
no,
recollection. It's extremely
it's
traumatic.
such a violation of trust, and it makes you feel crazy. It makes you second guess everything. Like,
Mm.
no, yeah, I don't.
Um,
We're not doing
it's like
Caroline's trauma corner. Okay, thanks.
no, and I mean it's like, but that's exactly what I definitely can't conceptualize trust being breached in that way. And it's so even like a high school relationship like that we tend to look down on and be like, okay, well you were just in high school, you can move on. Like they did have a pretty meaningful relationship, and I don't think that
Right. I mean,
I feel like Ashley never saw anything like that coming. She was like you shouldn't. Like she was very like she has a very secure emotional attachment because she even when there were things that maybe someone else would have picked up on earlier, she didn't because she trusted Craig and she just wasn't thinking like that.
right. Well, and they've been together for a while,
Mhm.
and
Discussing sex, saying I love you, feeling like they're in love.
making music together, like,
Right, like, did they just work in a way that she really like, that does make sense on paper, like, they very much, like, have complementing personalities, complementing interests, and it really sucks that, like it really sucks that Craig is the like, and I mean, he's had we have to talk about the Craig
we have
thing.
to.
We have to talk about the fact that this fucking boy has fucking trauma on trauma on trauma and attachment issues, and issues with like just how to properly love and be loved,
Hmm.
because we can argue that like people generally learn how to love someone else by how they've been loved before, and then you have to learn how to love that specific person. It's like a case by case basis, especially in a relationship, but like you're going to pretty much come into that relationship with your past experiences of being
Right.
loved. No matter the strong, you have strong feelings for this new person, but like you're bringing in whatever past relationships and what they set you up for this. So Craig is just really like he didn't have a strong, like his mother died. Like he does have a secure enough relationship with Joey, but they always occasionally go at it, and I mean it's secure enough, but uh, it's just not there yet. Like the two main sources of love in his life have been either not like cut off in the prime of like when he really needed them,
Right. Well,
or
I mean,
abusive.
two things are true. Like, what Craig is doing is super fucking shitty.
Yeah.
And it is not, like, I don't want to say unreasonable because it is an unreasonable way to behave, but like the clear path from his trauma to his actions as a child
Mhm.
who is not
Mhm.
getting proper therapy, who is a child. And so you've got like the addition of newly discovered hormones and poor impulse control and the ego that
Right.
comes with being that age. And like, there's all of these, like, I see where it comes from. I can only blame him so much. Yes, it would be great
Mhm.
if he could do better. No, what he does is not okay. And yes, he's an asshole
Yeah.
for it. And if you tell me that Craig does not in this moment know how to do better, I believe you.
No, that's kind of what I think it is. And I mean, I don't I never am like an apologist for any sort of character, any like I think that there's always a reason for someone's behavior, but that doesn't excuse someone's behavior. But I truly think that the character of Craig in this moment truly is doing what he knows how to do, the best that he can.
Well, and I think,
And not even the best that he can, but just more the best that he like it's hard because I don't think that I think that more he just wants to maintain these relationships and he doesn't want to lose either of these relationships because he doesn't it's kind of like I think in his brain he's like, I don't have relationships available to lose.
Well, and
Like,
right, and he wants to feel loved, and he's also scared of feeling loved because his dad loved him, right?
mhm.
And he's got like undiagnosed mental illness shit going on. And like I think there's a difference between like being an apologist for like a fully formed adult who has access to resources and what have you, and like
Mhm.
being an
Right,
apologist
a
for a fictional
teenager.
child.
Fictional child
And
indeed.
again,
Yeah.
nothing that Craig does is okay. It's just that
No.
like things aren't, most things aren't black and white.
No, and I think that's kind of like looking at it from just I do feel like though Craig is a bummer in
Oh,
this episode,
absolutely.
he's not I don't know if I feel like he's malicious
I don't
in what
oh
he's
no, I don't
doing.
think he's malicious at
Like I
all.
think he's maybe sometimes like I think of it like mischievousness, like he's like a kid seeing what he can get away with. And maybe that's like oversimplifying it, but that's the kind of level of like
Well, and that no,
um deception
I
I
think
think he's
that's
on.
another thing to consider is that for so long, like Craig had written boundaries and he could not push a boundary without getting hit. You know,
Mhm.
if we assume the abuse didn't start until Julia left,
Mhm.
Craig was like 9 then,
Right.
right? If he's like 14 when we first meet him,
14, yeah, 5, yeah,
Craig was
yeah.
like 9. And that's a long time then a young age to be not able to like push boundaries and see what you can get away with at an age where that's a thing that you're naturally inclined to do,
Right.
you know, because
Especially yeah, teens are all about pushing
well
boundaries
teens
and
and
seeing
even
what they
like
can get away
9 year
with.
olds, like for a
And
long
9-year
time I
right,
feel like
like
a
preteens.
bunch
Yeah.
of development from child to adult is pushing boundaries, and like that's how you learn to interact with the
That's how
world.
you learn. Yeah, absolutely.
And for at least 5 years he wasn't able to do that, and the consequences were
Mhm.
dire. And so
Mhm.
now he's started like dipping his toes into that water, and he's not getting beat, which good, he shouldn't be. um
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if
It's
that came out as cohesive as I.
no, it did. I really I think that a lot of it is like you said, it's a stunted sort of development because we have to admit, and I mean there are studies. Please research if that is your thing. I mean I didn't research this, but I know it's true that abuse stunts you
Yeah.
emotionally. There are people that have had abusive childhoods and have gone on to be adults and actually have to relive or redo their childhood because like there just simply wasn't one that was safe available.
Right.
Um and I think not to say that cheating is Craig's version of childhood because that's fucked up. But to say that Craig is experiencing a lot of developmental things that he wasn't able to experience in a safe place. And I think that obviously he's a teenage boy, so it manifests in a really shitty way because of his hormones and for him being able to get away with something is having sex.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it boils down to. He is able to have a loving relationship because if Ashley was not fulfilling him emotionally, he wouldn't have any qualms about dropping her like a hot fucking potato
Right.
or a bad habit. But he actually does love her. So
Poorly.
the
He's
fact
bad at
that
loving her, but he
he
loves
loves
her.
her horribly, but he loves her. Whereas I don't he does he care for Manny? Sure. I don't think he wants her to see her in any harm, but he doesn't love her or I don't even think he really even likes her that much.
No.
And the fact that he's just can get some ass with someone who is available and making
Well,
herself
and I
available to him
think
always.
well, exactly. I think, and you think about like the things that we see him get from Manny, her waiting in his
Mhm.
garage and like
Yeah,
being
Ashley doesn't do that
so
shit.
devoted, and like the way that she
Yeah.
like jumps into his arms in the skating rink, and like there's
Yeah,
a
she thinks
lot of
she's in a
like
rom-com.
passion there.
And the calling and being like it's and being like, "I miss you so much." It's
It's
very she
and
love
yeah, no,
bombs
I
so
think what it
much.
comes down to is like nothing that Craig is doing is okay. I don't condone it. I also can
Mhm.
only blame him so much.
And I think that's kind of where I stand too, is I can only blame him so much, and I do think that it's important to overstate that, like, hurt people, people who have trauma process it in different ways. That's not excusing anything,
And
because I actually personally think most people have something
but
traumatic that's
trauma is
happened
not
in their
one size
lives,
fits all, and we don't all get the
but
same coping
traumas
mechanisms and
or to
resources.
and resources, and honestly, he's got more than just his trauma to deal with. He's also got his brain chemistry not cooperating with him.
Hmm.
Um
And he
and
doesn't
I
know
mean,
to say, hey, I am very broken, like someone help me. Because he's a kid.
mhm.
And he's a traumatized
Yeah.
kid with stuff going wonky with his brain chemistry. And like,
I mean, when you only have the context of your brain, literally figuring out that, oh, this is something other people have is like life shattering because you feel like you're the only one
hmm,
who goes through these things. Like intrusive thoughts, I literally thought I was fucking crazy for a long time until I found out that other people have intrusive thoughts.
yeah.
Um and I mean there are other things like finding out that someone has something that you also have makes it less of a stigma. It breaks the ice, but it also makes you like, okay, I'm not alone in my brain. My brain is not the first brain to feel this. You know,
Right.
there's other people. And I think that Craig is feeling like he's got a lot of feelings. He's got a lot of isolation with his mental, you know, um, disorder. He's not making good decisions, to say the least. He's making impulsive decisions. He's trying to get away with things. He's trying to basically like have his cake and eat it too, but also he's having unrealistic expectations of what's going to happen.
Right.
Like, what did he think? And I think that that's part of his disease is like, what did he think was going to happen? Like, he thought that the only way that Ashley would find out about this is Manny directly speaking to her and telling her.
Hmm.
And that just proves how he's got a warped viewpoint of like how things could possibly occur.
I mean, I think that's not just like the mental health, though. I think that's the age too.
Yeah, I'm not predicting like consequences.
And
Yeah, that's
also
definitely the age.
after 5 years of not being able to get away with anything, suddenly like, Craig's yet to find the limit of like what he can get away with. Cause like,
Right.
yeah, okay, he gets in trouble for the kid at work thing, and I think like, Joey appropriately punishes him there. But compared to
Yeah.
your dad beating down your bedroom door with a base or a fucking golf club, that's
Yeah, the
still getting away
consequences are
with it
just
in his mind.
right.
Because like you do a risk analysis and it's worth it.
I just feel it's not like I feel super bad for him. I just feel like, okay, I didn't expect anything less from Craig. I especially because that gift, like when he goes to break up with Ashley, I don't think that he would have necessarily broken up with her even if she hadn't gotten him the gift,
Hmm.
because just facing someone and breaking up with them is really hard, but also breaking up with them in their family home is extreme.
Right?
In their family home,
There's
at
Toby
Hannukah,
ushering you in for Hanukkah.
telling you to take your boots off and come on in brother-in-law, future brother. Like it's definitely heartless to break up with someone, on their birthday, which Ashley has experienced. I should have broken up with you on your birthday like I wanted to. Miss Ashley Kerwin.
I love her. I love her so much. I mean,
Um,
I don't, but like it is
Not you're
kind of
right, but
iconic.
it's a kind of and a fucking iconic ass
And I
line
don't
for any
know.
teen show.
I'm waiting for
Like
Ashley to
your
really start
birthday,
sucking. She was a little
I
annoying
need
in
she's
season
gonna
one,
right.
and then her fashion
It's
in
it's
season two,
petering out
like,
and she's chilling. She's chilling right now. Don't worry. Her
all
bitch is
right,
dormant.
all
It's
right,
coming
I
back up.
believe
Don't
you.
worry. But like the fact that it's like your birthday and like Christmas and or Hanukkah, if that's what you celebrate. Sorry, Jewish folk, y'all are kind of just we always wonder what is Hanukkah because it's all about Christmas. So sorry.
Well, and
But
Hanukkah
half
changes.
the cast is Jewish too. Half of like not even half, but like a good portion of this OG cast is Jewish.
Yeah,
So it's like you'd think that there would be more Jewish characters, but
we
like
get a Hanukkah
it's like
episode. Only
Toby's
the Rugrats
family.
will ever give us a good Hanukkah episode.
Right, like
Oh
watch
my
the
god.
Hanukkah and the Kwanzaa Rugrats episodes because they're both
And the
extremely
Passover. Let
informative.
my
And
babies go.
oh my gosh, the Passover was actually an epic ass. Like all of those episodes are epic, but like I love the tale of the Passover because I didn't know it. I
Yeah.
didn't know the tale of the Passover until obviously I was watching the Rugrats and
You
what
didn't see
like
them Prince of
a,
Egypt?
a kid. I did see the Prince of Egypt.
Oh,
Beautiful,
so
beautiful
beautiful when they walk through
animation.
the Red Sea.
I remember where I was when I first watched that VHS and it changed my fucking
Oh, I
life.
saw it in theaters with
Um,
my best friend Bess and my mom, and it was
I did
beautiful.
not. I saw it on a Friday night and it was just rented from I'm not gonna say Blockbuster. I don't know. We had Hollywood Video, was very popular in my area, so it probably could have been Hollywood Video, wherever. And we had some snacks. They made a whole movie night of it, and yeah, we got ditched. It was one of those things where like, oh, okay, you guys are old enough to be here by yourself, but like we're gonna set something up from you, then we're leaving. So I was like maybe 11 or 12. But no, um, gosh. Okay, so the big thing I wanted to bring up that I don't know if we've brought up, um, is that oh no, okay, this is not a big thing. This is just an observation. Okay, is it possible that Craig got her this fluffy ass sweater because she had a thing for like the fluffy fluff collection? Because she literally just rubs her face on this sweater
I,
and then
I mean, I think it is a very Manny sweater, even though it's full length, but
she loves a crop, doesn't she?
she does, and that
Um,
sweater would look cute cropped.
mm-hmm.
It is a very Manny sweater that she would look really
That's
cute in.
kind
I
of
hope she
the
kept that. We didn't see her give that back to Craig. I hope
it
she
was all
wears this
she kind of
sweater.
like discarded the shit out of it, like low key. She's like, oh, but then she's like, she wasn't looking further in the bag because she was a little underwhelmed. Um,
It's very like
I
green
have
ass fucking wrist turning bracelet.
a
You so
there
get
was
me.
so cheap. Okay, so I have a couple things in this, if we call it a B plot, in Craig's plot. Um, the fact that there is a wish Quan in the scene where
Teaching
Jimmy
English
is, yeah,
with
because he's
Shaquan.
reading Charles Dickens, I think. Because this is like is
Yeah,
it
he's
a
reading
Christmas
A Christmas
Carol?
Carol in a weird
Poorly.
British accent.
Spoiler alert, that's on my shots fired, and I'm gonna elaborate on that at that time. But yeah, like you order Miss Kwan and you on Wish, and this is what you
On
get.
Wish.Quan.
Wish.Kwan, because who is this woman?
Yeah.
um, also, the fact that she had to like Manny had to coordinate it, like she had to probably coordinate that jump into Craig's arms as to not slice his calves off.
Not slice his calves off, not knock him down because he's, in shoes on ice.
Right, that's potential. Like, imagine her knocking him down and her feet are behind him. She might like slice up the family jewels or the buttocks
It could have happened. It
or the
didn't.
lower back, wherever.
I don't
Yeah.
think ice skates are really that sharp.
Ice. Okay, so
Yeah, I
I
don't want to hear
binged.
a gruesome story.
It's not gruesome. It was on a show that I recently binged because I don't know a lot about ice skating, but it's one of those things that I'm like, oh, I find fascinating. So I watch stuff about ice skating. But on this show, Spinning Out on Netflix, there's this scene where the skater is doing a I think she's doing a jump or something, and it goes through her hand. Like the skate goes
Ugh, no,
through
thank
her,
you.
or is it her hand or her no, 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 it goes through her foot. It goes through her foot. The bot, like the back of her skate goes through the top of her other
Ugh,
skate.
no,
And
no,
it's
no, no.
yeah,
Okay,
it's
I
really
don't need
yeah.
to know.
That's it. Sorry, you're a visual
I
person. You get
am.
visual
Yeah,
images. I'm so
I get
sorry.
like a visual
Um,
slash visceral. Like, I know I have no idea what it actually feels like, but like,
you
that
feel
like
like a
you feel
slash
it in
of
your
pain, like
gut.
the pain of, yeah, I hate that feeling. I get that feeling when like I see like someone's cut. I get like a pain in my, not my
Hmm.
chest, but like it's somewhere in my body and it hurts where like I see someone like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
no.
understand what you mean. I'm so
No, it's
sorry.
okay.
But no, they are fairly sharp. You actually have to get them sharpened.
I know you have to get
Um,
them sharpened.
right, but so they're sharp enough to fuck you up.
Well, luckily she didn't fuck Craig all up.
There's so much logistics in ice skating that I just don't care to know, but like I do know that it's like obviously people know gymnastics is like really complicated and I think people know ballet is pretty complicated, but like uh ballet is kind of figure skating is kind of both of those, but like light on the gymnastics, but like heavy on the fuck no. And it's got a lot of like you could really break your fucking neck. And you could also really
Yeah, no, you
fuck
can.
yourself up with them skates.
Yeah.
So
I have to
to have it be
call
a casual hobby.
I have to call out that the place where Angie's pageant is like
Hmm.
the Victoria something. And Victoria's in fucking British Columbia.
Damn.
Like
Paying attention to details, Kate.
that is like
Kate.
Western Canada.
So, because this was shot in Toronto, what are they doing?
It must be just like a stock exterior shot.
Yeah, maybe they didn't like the the exterior of the rinks in Toronto, so
Yeah,
they
I don't
just
know. It's a weird choice
I,
though.
that is a weird choice. Hmm. I feel like they once one of those things again they didn't think that we'd notice, like Marco playing the accordion. We never hear about it again.
Nope.
I need
That's in my
I
shots
actually
fired.
really want to hear him. I want to hear him play that song.
Green
Um
sleeves.
yeah, I want to hear him play Green Sleeves. Uh I want to comment that Ashley should never give a family heirloom to a boy or a girl, whomever you're into, or non-binary folk.
Yeah, no.
No one. Do not give a family heirloom away. Yeah. And I feel like it's very much it maybe we're at the mark of time where we would probably shift into categories. This is a two-parter, so maybe a little bit more, but I actually notice we don't really care about the A plot or the Joey plot rather. I just think they're trying to make Joey and Caitlyn happen, and I really don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't
I mean,
care.
they've
I
made it
wish that
happen
Sydney
now.
was around. I wish that Sydney was around more. Obviously, she's gone. She comes back, as Caroline stated, but really, like, I'm here for Sydney, and that's really it. Like, Joey's a piece of shit. Him leaning into he is not that much taller than Caitlyn. So him basically like ushering himself down to her lips without much ceremony and then making it seem like it was something he was shocked by. It's very much reading he saw an opportunity and he took it just like Craig.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, like stepfather, like stepson, y'all are both pieces of shit.
Right.
We knew that about Joey, we knew that about Craig, but now you are on even plane. You're both doing the same shit. But I really had to rewind it a couple of times because I was just like, he kissed her.
Yeah.
She didn't kiss him. I mean, she kissed him back, but he kisses her.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, and she's out of line too. Like
Oh, she's out of line, yeah.
Spike was like, "Hey, write a letter and then calm down."
And reflect on it.
And then
Reflect on it
Caitlin
is the key.
instead was
Read
like,
it
"Let me
later.
type this up and immediately drop it off at
And
Joey's
immediately
house."
go singing, whistling. What was it? We wish you a Merry Christmas,
I
I
think
think,
so.
or is it? Yeah, like whistling a really
A
upbeat,
jaunty Christmas
jovial
tune.
Christmas tune, and then with very little thought, apparently, slipping it into the mailbox of you were supposed to read it after the holidays.
Right.
You were supposed to decompress and go on your vacation and then read it when you got back.
I
And then
love how like
see that you were a little
I
nuts.
love how he's got to catch her before she goes on her vacation. And she's got to abandon her vacation. Like she's going to Montreal for like 48 hours.
Like she can get like right, like she's not going away on a fucking work
Right.
well but eventually she's not going away for 6 months to an assignment or something. Like it's not like it's supposed to be this big moment where he intercepts the plane. Like she's going a couple of provinces away.
Right.
Chill the fuck out. Let this lady go on her spa vacation.
Also, I love how her boss is like, here's these tickets I scored for you and whatever. And like, she would have been
Mm-hmm.
more comfortable on a commercial flight.
Mm-hmm. She's literally sitting behind the pilot. I don't like that. That means you're gonna feel every
Yeah,
little
no.
thing. I've been in little time. We took like a I think it was called not a charter, like one up from a charter, but it was a very small plane. It was, you could see the front and the back standing there. And it was, if you sprinted to the end of it, you probably would crash into the end of the plane. It was not a big plane, and we felt every little thing. We were only in the air for about a half hour, and I was just like, please bring this plane down with no issue, because it was tossing. We were being tossed in the air,
Right.
and those are like those small ass aircrafts, and the pilot has to tell you to turn off your phone. That means you're too close to me. Don't stand so close to
Well,
me.
and like
Okay?
a flight from Toronto to Montreal is an hour and 15 minutes.
That's like going down to fucking Florida. If you don't take your ass on the fucking commercial flight and they just wanted to have the big romantic scene on
Right.
the
Because on
private
a commercial
jetway, I'm like,
flight, they wouldn't stop the plane for
they
you.
wouldn't stop the plane. Yeah, she would have just been on it and been out.
And oh no,
Maybe
then they
that's
would have
why
had
they
to
did that
revisit
dumb
this
shit.
conversation 48 hours later when she returned.
They
By
just
then it
put the
would be
little
too late.
the passion's gone. Oh no, and Christmas has already happened, so we expect Christmas without you, which we
I low
can't
key
do.
hate this episode.
Christmas just won't do without you. Shut up. I really don't like this episode.
Like
I
it's
actually really never
fine,
like the fact that we got a Christmas episode. We got
and it's this shit.
one, precisely one Christmas episode, and it's this shit.
And
It's
like,
this
okay,
bullshit.
I feel like the Craig Ashley Manny is like important story. Like it is
Hmm.
development to these characters that we know and a plot line that we've been following for a while.
Right, even if we don't care about it, it is a payoff of something that's been building for quite some time. I don't really care
Joey and
about it.
Caitlin, I don't give. Well, I mean, I don't care about, but the
It's
this
it's more
trio is
relevant.
a big
Yeah,
storyline
it
that
is.
goes through several seasons. Honestly,
It does, right? They're on again, off again combinations of the three. Yeah, it's bad. So it right, like this is definitely kind of a monumentous sort of thing, but like tacking on and making it the thematically, obviously they've got to mirror each other, and I feel like they really want to justify these characters still being here. I'm fine with Joey being a lovely stepfather. I don't need anything else
I
from
don't
him.
need anything from Caitlyn.
I don't need anything from Caitlyn, especially not being the highest rated television program in the country, which I highly fucking doubt.
Right?
Not even to be a hater, just
You don't
what is
think
their
that
show even
Caitlyn
about?
Ryan Unscripted is.
Like, what the fuck is it even about? No, I don't care. No, and I'm sure that people in Canada, the Canadians at large, don't give a fuck. But yeah, I don't care about most of the things that occur in this episode. I mean, I care about Manny, but like I really don't think that she's in the right in this episode.
Mm,
And so her saying like, "Oh, you didn't think that she'd find out about me and you didn't think that I'd find out about your lies." And it's like she thought that she not to say what the kids say, she thought that she ate with that one.
yeah, yeah.
But she didn't. She really fucking didn't. Like, come on now. Like, you
Ugh.
played yourself. You played yourself.
She
Hard,
did. She
mama.
did. And
Hard.
Craig is such a perfect example of like
Hard.
when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Believe them. Yeah, no, and yeah, this is
Yeah.
what happens when we don't do that. And Craig is just like, shots fired is gonna be fun, but Craig really is just a piece of shit throughout this entire
Yeah.
episode. Like Joey, Joey has this
Hmm.
Joey peaks at the piece of shit moment at the end of the first episode of this two-parter. But it just feels like we're made to sit through these Joey Craig plots of two men, you use that term very loosely for Craig, at different points of their lives doing the same dumbass shit.
Yeah.
It's like Joey might as well have never left high school because he's doing the same thing he did when he was in high school.
Right, right.
Um,
No, it's a frustrating episode, and
it,
way too
and I'm
much
so
time
glad
is
we're
wasted on characters that we don't fucking care about.
we could have given the two-parter to fucking Terry. And I actually think that the story that we get, like what happens later on, would have benefited from more time with Terry,
Hmm.
from more time, unfortunately, with Rick. And I think that we were robbed of that two-parter in lieu of this. And if that's true, fuck this. Fuck it.
Fuck it. With that note,
Fuck it.
should we talk about segments?
Hey, Pasta fam. We wanted to take a minute to talk to you about some of the various things we have going on and ways you can support the show and engage with us and other fans.
Honestly, we're both honored and flabbergasted that so many of you listen to us for free. But since we already have a few Patreon subscribers, we figured we may have a few more listeners out there who might be interested. Our Patreon can be found at patreon.com/yourmomspodcast. We have 4 tiers offering a variety of awesome bonus content, merch store discounts, automatic double entry in our giveaways and contests, and some other cool perks as well.
You might have already heard, but we're heading to Tennessee in August for the Smoky Mountain Fan Fest. Shane, Pat, and Melissa, or Spinner, Joey, and Ashley, are going to be there along with Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, and a ton of other really exciting non Degrassi related guests. We are hyped to have this opportunity to connect with the Degrassi community and hopefully make some killer content along the way. To help us get there, we are currently asking for donations, but we wouldn't dream of asking without giving something in return. So if you donate $10 or more to our PayPal, which can be found at paypal.me/padcast, before May 1st, we will send you a Spinner Mason Harris tour poster. But that's not all. We shipped a few of those bad boys up to Toronto where they are being signed by friend of the pad, Shane Kipple. Two lucky donors will receive signed Harris Tour posters. Every $10 you donate is another entry into the drawing. And as always, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you get double entry. So a $10 donation yields 2 entries, $20 yields 4 entries, and so forth and so on. Make sure to send an email to your mom's podcast at gmail.com with your PayPal name and mailing address so we can get your poster to you.
Speaking of posters, have you been to our merch shop? That can be found at your-moms-podcast-shop.fourthwall.com. That's a mouthful. It's full of all kinds of merch that I like to think is hilarious, that I have poured my heart and soul into. And honestly, as much as we'd love for you to buy it, I at least would be content with you like checking it out and telling us what you love / how hilarious I am. I'm a millennial.
Mm-hmm.
I like validation.
That would be beautiful if, feedback. Which brings us to other ways you can engage with us. We can be found on Instagram at YMPadcast and on TikTok at Your Mom's Podcast. We are also on Facebook as Your Mom's Podcast, and we have a group under the same name. The group is not only a great way to interact with us and other fans, but it is also where all of our stuff like giveaways and caption contests happen. You definitely don't want to miss out there. Lastly, we just like to remind you that subscriptions and reviews go a long way in helping us grow.
And
If you have a
validating
few
us.
minutes, oh my gosh, does it validate us? Please give us pats on the head. We love them. If you have a few minutes to do so, we greatly appreciate it. Yes. So, sliding on into our segments, we have our music corner first. We're gonna figure out a name for this. It's not gonna be music corner. We're gonna figure it out.
Suggestions are
But
welcome.
please inform us. Well, not inform us. Inform us of your ideas. There we go. But so we've got Holiday, and it's Holiday by Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's clear that they literally just picked it for the title once again because
It is not. It's
Holiday
not
is
about
such an
Christmas.
upbeat song.
And it's
Yeah,
not about
which is not
cheating on
about.
Ashley with Manny or Sydney with Caitlin.
It's not. It's really just about like being on a holiday and celebrate being just fine. I don't know. Like there it's really not a very
Like, it's
complex
literally
song.
talking about picking just like a random day to come together as a nation.
To a holiday. Come on.
Or in
Come on.
every
Yeah,
nation, yeah.
it's
Around the
yeah,
world.
if we
It's
took a
very like
holiday,
uplift
took
people
some
type
time
of
to
song.
celebrate,
I mean, it's
yeah, just
not
one day out
sound
of life.
wise, but like simple lyrics
Right.
and
It is not like this is basically saying put your troubles down. It's time to celebrate. Let love shine, and we will find a way to come together. That's not the theme or anything that happens in this episode.
you know,
There are no real happy times. Two pretty strong relationships. I would wager going into this episode die a horrible death.
yeah.
By the episode's end. So it's really not upbeat in the traditional sense. And it's a great song. I actually really do like Madonna. I don't know if we talked about that. I really do like Madonna. I think that she grows a new head like Cher every so often to try more Cher does it than Madonna, but like Madonna did it in her heyday where she was just able to come back with like new styles. But yeah, I do enjoy a Madonna track, especially in the 80s. Madonna's was huge in the 80s.
And 80s
So
Madonna is a
yeah,
good Madonna.
80s Madonna is a good Madonna.
Like, I don't know that Madonna has put out much in the last like 20 years that I would say was particularly great.
No, no. I took like I always regard like not to say that my musical library is any sort of authority, but I try to kind of just collect things that make sense to me
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like the artist. So I mean, I've got Hung Up from 2005, which I actually do like that song, but only because it was in heavy rotation on MTV at the time.
Yeah, no, it's
Heavy
I would say that's
rotation. It
definitely
was
one
kind
of
of
the
like
more
exposed.
memorable.
Yes. Like, but like I would say that's Celebration in 2005. So I mean that was one of her last like big albums. Um
Yeah.
oh, to my surprise, Madonna has a song out with whoever Playboy Cardi is and The Weeknd. The Weeknd and Madonna have a shared album. I don't know. Wow. Okay. So she's still trying to make music, but she hasn't really made. Oh, she right 4 minutes. I only got 4 minutes to say the word. Like 2008. Okay. So
Yeah.
grab a boy, grab a girl. That song. Well, yeah. Good job,
Good job,
Madonna,
Madonna, for
for
writing a song
giving
that
us
had
this
nothing to do with this
absolute
episode of Degrassi.
right.
So, whatever. It's a banger though, or it's at
Right.
least a bop.
It is this.
It's a bop.
It's a bop. I think it's a bop. Yeah. Yep. I feel because like you want to bop to the yeah to the holiday. Yeah. It's like it's giving it. It always gave me like summer beach vibes
Yes.
versus like Christmas.
Well, isn't Madonna British and don't they use holiday to mean like vacation?
Madonna wishes she was British. I'm pretty sure she lives there
Oh, is
and
she just
pretends to have a
American?
British accent.
I
She's
know
just an
so little about
ordinary
Madonna.
American. I think that she went uh to the UK and pretended to have a British accent for a fairly long time.
Oh yeah, no, she was born
Um
in Michigan.
I think it's hilarious because her marketing campaign worked to have people think that she was British by talking in a really horrible British accent.
I've just never paid that
Um
much attention to Madonna, okay?
to be fair, she kind of looks like she could be British, but yeah, no.
I have one of my friends from when I was like an older teenager slash very young adult is
Mhm.
this guy Josh who actually, though he did not watch Degrassi, watched the JT episode with me because another friend of ours was like, "We
Mhm.
have to watch this. I don't know what's happening, but somebody's gonna die." And
Oh,
but
yeah.
anyway, he loved Madonna like back in the days of AIM. His screen name was like Madonna's homeboy. Um, and he has, I think at this point, multiple Madonna tattoos. He got a grill because Madonna
Yeah,
got a
that's
grill.
dedication.
It's a thing.
She did. Oh, I'm so happy that that era of celebrities getting grills is like over. I hated that grills era. I hated it.
Yeah, it
I
was.
hate like that whatever Flavor Flav did to his mouth, all that shit, what Nelly did to his mouth. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
Little Wayne got like I'm pretty sure he got permanent like chrome teeth,
Why would you do that?
which is just terrifying to me.
Yeah, I don't like
Like
the
you're
idea of
bionic, you're
that
part
feeling.
machine. Yeah. So unfashionable, unlike well, no, I don't know. Unlike we're about to roast some fashion. I think we're good to gas up the car and
Head on over to the
head to the
fashion
fashion
corner.
corner.
I only took a picture of like one outfit because it's one of my favorites.
Mhm.
And it's Manny in her like patchwork, like fuzzy patchwork jacket.
Yeah, that was on one of mine
I
too.
love that
Yeah,
outfit.
I think it is an iconic outfit because you got to look at her um hopping into Craig's arms
Mm-hmm.
wearing that sweater. Um I like that one. I really did also like the outfit that Manny is wearing at the skating rink. I think in the beginning
Yeah.
of I think the blue is really cute on her, but obviously I don't know why I love a turtleneck on various folk, but
She looks good in
she's
a
got like this
turtleneck.
black turtleneck. Yeah, she's got the black turtleneck. She's got this like crossover blue sweater with like little white beading. that it looks kind of like a ballet crossover, honestly, but it's really cute. And she walks by Spinner, which he represents another one of my outfits. They're all in the same sort of frame. I more love his little hat, but he's actually got like a cute outfit on for like how they dress these guys. He's got like this like a windbreaker-esque outfit, a windbreaker-esque jacket on with like gray patches, and like a burgundy shirt on with some sort of design. He looks a little bit more like he's dressing like he got a job or something. Like he's got more money.
Yeah.
Like Spinner's definitely dressing way trendier. Like he looks like he's coordinated. He's like, I gotta step shit up. I'm dating Paige now. But mostly I really like his green little hat. Everyone seems to just be wearing more, well, the two guys who don't really wear hats, Craig and Spinner, are wearing hats in this episode. I'm not gonna say everybody. And I don't like Craig's hat. I'm gonna say that now. I fucking hate Craig's hat, but I love Spinner's little green cap. It looks so cute on him.
Yeah.
It's a, I think, a nice color, but um and I did want to give an honorable mention to Joey's like suit with the white scarf around his neck. Um it's very much like I don't, it's not even like priest, but it's somehow like pastoral.
Yeah.
Like it just
It's
it's funny. It's funny that he chose that combination, but then at least like I was talking to the bartender all night. Like, I don't know. Um,
well, also I want to just take a quick second to like that scene is another prime example of why Joey and Sydney are not it because he's like so
mm-hmm.
threatened by her world.
That's fair. No, actually though, she is just like trying to reassure him that it doesn't, like happen overnight for him to get used to being in that sort of setting, which I appreciate. Like, you don't need to her saying that you don't need to fit into my world right away, like we just go to these events, like is very refreshing because like she's not being an asshole about it. She's not like, hey, I noticed that you were just sitting at the bar the whole time, but like she didn't have a problem with it. He had the problem with
Right.
it. Definitely a big point of why they don't work.
Yeah.
um and I have two more. I have Caitlin in a positive light. I actually really do like the outfit that she has on when Sydney comes to her office. I like I love green. It's like a hunter green, maybe a little bit lighter than that, turtleneck, and I love a turtleneck. And she's got a V-neck leather jacket. It's not a regular fucking 2000. She's got a V-neck leather jacket, people. Like the cut of the shit is V. I don't know if I've seen this in like so long and I wish I hadn't seen it. But yeah, I actually do like the combination of it because it's a turtleneck having the V-neck there and you get to see a little bit more of the turtleneck versus if it was a just as leather jackets are supposed to be, a high neck leather jacket. But
Yeah.
and then I have to call out Manny for this really hideous outfit that she chooses to wear. Um the shirt in particular, I think the shirt's just really ugly. It's got a lot of it's got not a lot of ruffles. It's got one large ruffle like around the neck and
Is it the one she's wearing when she
a lot
sees
of
Craig with
colors.
Ashley after he tells her he's going to break up with Ash?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a horrible
Yeah.
outfit.
It's terrible, isn't it? It's just like not a cute, it's not flattering. I think that the jeans like kind of save the outfit and the fact that like we said she likes to wear everything cropped. Um so not even cropped, but just like the fact that her jeans are low rise or whatever
Mm-hmm.
and that little slit of belly helps with the fact that it's like a grandma-esque shirt and it's just not cute. Even Manny can't make that cute, which is saying something because she can make most things look cute.
Right.
um But yeah, that was, and I have to give out an honorable mention to Snake's toupee.
That was a really sweet moment. That was a very
It
sweet
was
moment.
very I don't we didn't even talk about it in the deep dive, but yes, it was very sweet. I really thought
The
that
grade 10s all pitched in and they wanted to get Snake a real wig, but realized those are very expensive. So they got him like a cheesy Elvis wig.
mhm.
And he's like, I'm the luckiest guy in
Um
the world. And you kind of feel
yeah.
like he means it.
I think right, like his spirits are up a little bit more. Like it's cool to see. That is one thing about the show, like having characters in the peripheral, and like being able to just not really we're not getting a plot from Snake, but we do see that he is in higher spirits than he was a couple of episodes ago. That's all we can really ask for. He's not in the shitter as much anymore. He's still got cancer, but
Yeah.
he's dealing with it better. But yeah, very sweet. Shout out to the toupee. It's not his color.
No.
But
But it's a sweet
but I don't
gesture.
think it's a bad quality wig. I just don't think it's his color. But
It's not
yes,
a
it's very sweet
good
gesture.
quality wig though either.
It's an acceptable quality. Acceptable,
Yeah, no,
I
they
guess. I'm not like a good judge of wig character,
I
so I mean, thankfully, um, haven't had to be. So, but yeah. So I guess so now we've got to
head on over to
get
where
to
the
firing
shots are
some
firing.
shots. Pew pew
Pew
pew
pew pew pew
pew pew
pew.
pew.
Shots fired.
Yes. And for me, once again, we did not talk about our shots fired off the top. I think that we can agree on some of them, but I'll just, I'll start it off. My first one is Craig, when he's on the phone with Manny in the top of the episode, and when Manny is telling him that she misses him a lot, and Ashley's there and comes up to him. He says, Spinner, we'll talk about exchanging gifts tomorrow. Bye.
Right.
Hangs up on her ass.
My first one is a bit further into the episode. It's when
Mm,
Sydney says her whole thing about like, and I'm gonna take her Boxing Day shopping and blah blah blah, and walks
mm,
out. And Craig goes, and who says money can't buy happiness?
mm, yes. Um, I have the guitar string as Manny walks by was clearly a shot fired at Craig. And like right after that, when Craig yeets his guitar, like puts it down roughly and it falls, Ashley says, yeah, and that's gonna make it better.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with you?
I have when Spinner catches Craig and Manny and Craig accuses him of stalking him and
Hmm.
he starts to explain about Kendra and then instead he's like, wait, why am I doing the explaining?
Right. um I have Sydney calling Caitlin Kate.
We hate an
Like, I don't
unsolicited
know.
nickname on this show, apparently. Jim, Kate. We take that as a shot
It just
fucking fired.
right, like it is so fucking smart. Like, don't yeah, yep. We hate unsolicited nicknames on this
Okay,
on this
Avi.
pad. Ah! Okay. Okay, so I have Jimmy also going for that Cockney accent, but it was not landing. It read more like Irish slightly, but like really bad Irish, just bad
Yeah, in a
overall.
similar vein, I have the way that Caitlin said director. Director.
My last. No. Um Spinner saying, well, one girlfriend down, one to go.
When when they get home from Caitlin babysitting and the costume's all dirty and whatever, and Caitlin's like, don't be mad at her. And Sydney's just like, I'm not mad at her.
Yes.
Like,
I didn't even mention Right. I didn't even mention in the deep dive, but I really don't understand why it was a big deal for her to wear the pageant costume when the pageant was over. That's just me.
I don't know, because Sydney
Like,
still put a lot of work into it.
And I didn't even bring it up that I think that it was a pattern that she must have had because all of the other costumes are identical. So, like, were
Yeah,
you given a pattern
she
and you
must have
just sewed it
been.
up, or
But still,
like,
there's a lot of
but
time, and
still,
maybe she wants to do like a photo shoot or something. We don't know.
that's fair. She seems like the type. To... um, 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 Caitlin's saying, "Listen, elf girl,
Yeah.
I'm having a serious discussion here."
And I'm firing shots at Poca Marco.
Oh my gosh, like I can't. It's gotta go. I had just the whole conversation between Sydney and Caitlin, but obviously they don't need a blast from the past, a klutzy blast from the past,
Right?
you know.
She's right though.
Like, why does blast from the past sound so like scathing when she says
But
it?
because it
Like,
is, because
it's
there's no
just like,
substance there. There's like your life is unfulfilled, so you're sitting here being like, maybe if I had like stuck with this when I
mm,
was 18, my life would be more fulfilling. Like it is a blast of the past from the past in like all the worst possible ways.
oof, sheesh. Fair, shots fired. Um, and do you have any more? Sorry.
No, no, you're good to go.
Okay. JT saying, I guess they won't be spending Christmas together. Hee hee. Oh, but like also hilarious. I love that Ashley smacks him. I shouldn't love violence, but it was so good. And Manny saying, because you were stupid, Craig. Craig saying, now the other girl hates my guts too. So Merry Christmas. No, it's more like him saying calling Manny the other girl is the shots fired part. Like,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, I mean, I could call everything said between Sydney and Joey, but particularly like because I love you, but you don't feel the same.
Yeah.
And it's sad, and I hate that it's the shots fired. She just excuses herself to go weep in the fucking car.
She's gonna be
How is
fine.
she getting home? How is she getting home? Right, she'll be fine. I always wonder the logistics of stupid shit like that in like film and TV. Like, how is this person
I
getting
mean,
home?
there's a good
Where's
chance
their
that she
ride?
drove herself because she came straight from work. It's Sydney.
Oh, that's
It's
fair.
also
You know what? She'll
Toronto.
be all right.
They've got
She
good
she had her
public
car.
transportation.
They've got Metro. You're
She's
right.
gonna
You're
be
right. You're
fine.
right. All right. She's gonna be all right. Um, but yeah, I mean, so now that we're done our shots fired, I guess we can talk about some folks who weren't all right in this episode. These fucking super bummers.
Can we start with shining stars just because, like, are there any?
We can because no. Are there?
Nobody shines.
No. Nobody shines. I feel really bad for Ashley, but I don't think that she
Mm-mm.
shines.
Yeah, like she's not gonna be. She's not one of my super bummers, but she doesn't shine.
She doesn't shine. Yeah,
I
so
guess
everybody, I
let's
mean,
give it to Snake.
Snake for, and I mean,
Continuing
I guess
to.
maybe have, can we give it to everybody in the grade 10s giving him the
We can
toupee?
not to.
Because
We
we
can give
see
it to the collective
to
of that grade 10 class
the collective, yes,
as a whole,
minus
but
kind of minus Craig
no,
and
I
Ashley
mean,
because I didn't see them.
no, you saw
I didn't see
Craig.
them partic. Was he there?
Yeah. But
Was
that's
he?
fine. That's fine. I
Oh
don't think that affects his status as a super bummer. So we will
no, I don't think it does.
give it to the grade 10 class as a whole for their thoughtful gift and to Snake
Mm-hmm.
for powering through what he's going through. And then
Yeah.
super bummers present everybody. Who are yours? You know
I
what? No, no,
mean,
no, no, no. I'm gonna
obviously.
give it to Sydney
Oh, because she. Oh,
because she saw what was going
Sydney.
on. She
And she
realized that
just.
she was worth better than that.
And she laid her cards on the table
Yeah,
and then gracefully walked away.
yeah. I'm giving it to Sydney.
Oh, I support that because you know what? This lady deserves so much better, and I really hate how much the 2000s taught me to hate women.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly women who just were being themselves, and maybe sometimes being yourself is a little bit brash, but that doesn't mean that you're a bitch.
Right.
And like that was Sydney. And I just love her so much now, and I'm gonna miss her in the show, even though we got scraps. But so yes, so she definitely was a shining star. Thank you. Beautiful. Love it. Yeah. Everybody else, obviously, Craig sucked.
Manny
Manny
sucked. Joey
sucked.
sucks.
Joey
Caitlyn
sucked.
sucks.
Caitlyn sucked. Spinner kind of
Spinner
sucks
sucks
too,
too. Like,
because like encouraging him to like cheat and like, oh, I can't get away with cheating because I'm not a stud. What kind of fucking logic is that? Like,
right.
oh, I don't know, you don't know if this girl's for you, so you need to play the field while you're still with her. That is dumbass logic, and it's wrong.
Well, here's the thing, that logic is fine if everybody is a willing and knowing participant in that kind of relationship.
Mm. That it right, under the circumstances,
Under the circumstances, it's
it's
shit advice.
it's shitty.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wonder if it would have been the same advice if it wasn't Ashley, because we know Spinner does not care for Ashley.
Spinner doesn't
He
like
doesn't like
Ashley.
hate her,
He
but
doesn't
like
even
they're
like
not
Ashley with Jimmy. He doesn't
friends.
like Ashley with
He
Craig.
doesn't
He's
like
like, I
Ashley with
just need this.
Paige. He doesn't
He's like,
like
I just
Ashley.
need right. I just need this bitch to stop popping up in my life in various permutations. Like that's. I
Like,
really
I'll
think
throw
that
a
that's how
surprise
Spinner
party with
feels.
her, but
But like that's it. I draw the line at like dealing with her on a regular basis, and he's like,
right.
he really. You're right. Like Spinner really just doesn't fucking like Ashley, and it could. He probably is
Like,
just
if
like,
Craig
please
was
just
dating Manny and cheating on Manny, would Spinner be like, that's totally
giving.
cool? I mean,
Right.
Manny,
I don't. Yeah.
or like if he was dating Emma or like whatever, or Ellie or Hazel, or is Spinner's advice biased by his hatred of Ashley?
I think it's biased by his hatred of Ashley. That boy
Uh,
is not very complex. So yeah, at
so
this point
yeah,
in time.
everyone was a bummer
Everyone's a
except for
bummer
Sydney
except for
and
Sydney
Snake and the
and the
10th
grade
grade
10s
medium version
and Snake.
class.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it go there?
Does it go there?
No. No, I don't think it
It
goes
really doesn't.
there.
I mean, like, you do have cheating, and that is like a trauma, and like a legit trauma. But they haven't really gotten
But
into that.
and this isn't the first instance of cheating. This is just the reveal of the cheating. To be fair, we don't even have actual, like, not to be like the sex always makes it go there. I mean, I guess technically for me, sex does usually make it go there. And we've already had sex this season. We've had sex with this couple, if you could call them a couple, and those are the more go there
Mm.
instances versus this is just the reveal of months of weeks of bullshit. I won't say months. It's probably not been months. Weeks of bullshit. So,
Right. And the sex is like, you're aware of it because it's already happened, so you presume that they're still having sex, But
mhm,
like, we're not aware of it. It's not talked about. It's not a plot point. It's not.
right.
Yeah, no, this episode doesn't really fucking
No,
go there.
no, it
Th-
doesn't
I
go
don't
there.
like this episode. Like, I don't hate it. I a little bit I hate it. It's just like it's a waste of.
A little bit I hate
I mean,
it.
a little bit I hate it.
I actually pretty much really do hate it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that it's not a fun episode in terms of like the Joey shit, the Caitlyn
Right.
shit. We
And the
both have said
only
candidly we don't fucking like them, and I don't really like this. Like what's going on with Craig. It makes a beautiful, awesome character like Manny just
right,
insufferable,
Manny
in
sucks in
fucking
it, and the only
sufferable.
bit of Paige that we get is her like
Scraps
being
talking about a
awful.
fast.
Talking about, we have to eat a bunch of sausage for Christmas. I think that we should also fast like you do for Ramadan.
Shout out to Hazel for wearing her
Mm-hmm.
hijab. She just, we didn't mention that, but we got a brief We could call this a fucking cameo because they really just walk past like talking, but
Yeah.
Paige saying all the like Ramadan could learn a thing or two from what all the sausage we're
Christmas could learn
eating,
a
and
thing
because
from
there's
Ramadan. It's kind of gross.
Christmas, yeah, yeah. And I mean, but shout out to Hazel for that being a follow through of like taking on the hijab, not full time, but for an occasion, was a personal decision she came
Well,
to. So we
apparently
got a
they're
very
having some kind
brief
of
time with
cultural
Hazel.
Christmas thing.
Yes, there's some kind, and I think they did say in the beginning that the gym was closed all week for Christmas festivities, but like there were before the concert at the end of the week,
Right.
so they must have been having things just to avoid doing actual
You
schoolwork
know,
in the
if you
last
take
week.
away all the like shootings and everything,
And
and
gonorrhea.
gonorrhea, like Degrassi seems like a pretty cool school.
Enriching school, yeah. No, definitely. It's a
They got
community
Dr.
school.
Sally.
They got a big budget, except when they
They got
don't.
Heritage
Uh,
Day.
yeah, no, I think that yeah, we deserve more Paige, and I would have loved more Hazel. We got more Hazel last episode, and I love spending time with Hazel, as we
Yeah,
said.
it's always
It is
nice to
always
spend
nice to
time with
spend
Hazel.
time with Hazel. Yeah. So uh, we
We
digress.
digress. On that note, I would just like to say thank you for listening to your mom's podcast. Next week, we're going to be watching Emma ruin a good thing while Paige salivates over Teacher in This Charming Man, which is a Morrissey song, which I really already don't want to listen to.
This episode of Your Mom's Podcast is brought to you by the Toronto Synchro Skaters, Santa Claus, and support from listeners like you.
If you'd like to further support our show, you can find us on TikTok and Facebook as Your Mom's Padcast. We also have a Facebook group of the same name. And you can find us on Instagram at YMPadcast. Your Mom's Padcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscriptions and reviews are another great free way to support us. However, if you're interested in supporting us in not free ways, we have a lot of great bonus content on our Patreon, and some great merch at our shop, which can be found at your-moms-padcast-shop.fourthwall.com. And remember, that's Padcast. Pahdcast. Thank you.
And now we would like to take a moment to thank our Patreon subscribers: Octavia Faith,
June Bard,
Margot Mancini,
and Brianna Bradsher.
and a special thanks to our titty snake producer, Alyka Fenderson.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Ew, I hate how I said thank you. Thank you.